I'm tired. Did somebody just fart? Did one of you just come in here and fart? Are you that comfortable around me that that's what you do? Huh? Is that what you do? I love it that you love me that much, that you're that comfortable with me, that we're at that point in our relationship where you guys can just walk all the way here into the office and have a nice little fart. Yeah, I love it. Ah, good morning. Nobody's even here yet. I'm like, good morning. Okay, let me see if my links are working. Control V, enter. My chat is working. Let me get on my phone. Damn, guys. Mm. Okay, Facebook page. Update. Tired. Tired, tired, tired. Okay. 1 second. Figure this one out. I post. Oh wait, before I do that, oh come on, please brain fire. Okay, now we can go. Hey, good morning, Eileen. Hi, how are you? Hey, Ann, how are you? Good morning. I'm just sharing out 2 groups really quick. I'm super tired, you guys. I was stuck in the airport till literally I got there at about, I don't know, 2 o'clock maybe for a 3:35 flight. They postponed us and delayed us. Good morning, Rose. How are you? Thank you. Um, they postponed us 9 times. They delayed us over, and I guess there was a medical emergency that happened on the flight before us that we were supposed to all get onto, and they had to use the oxygen on that plane for the lady in the wheelchair, or I'm not sure what exactly happened, and then they couldn't fill up the tanks properly there at the airport, and they were waiting to have tanks shipped in, and then they didn't know where to go get tanks, and then it became an issue of needing a stewardess because of the time of the crew, and it was just a mess. It was like full on Mercury retrograde, um, how patient can you be kind of experience. And I was, I have to say, without tooting my own horn, but beep beep, I did pretty well. The one good thing about Norfolk Airport is it's a small airport. It's very calm, and most everybody, there was a lot of people that had connecting flights. Those people were not happy because they missed their stuff. Hey, Leslie Ann, good morning. Um, but I watched these workers like reschedule like an entire ton of people, and then they kept pushing those of us that were going straight to Dallas, or those of us that wanted to at least get as far as Dallas, back and back and back. First it was 5:30, then it was 8:30, then it was 10:30, then it was 10:45, then 11, then it was 12:15, then 12:30. It was nuts. So needless to say, I didn't get home until 4 a.m. last night. Thank God for my stepfather. He came out and picked me up. Blessings to him. I offered my mom, I sent her a text from the airport in Norfolk in Virginia. I said, do you want me to just rent a hotel room in Dallas and he can come and get me in the morning because this is ridiculous. I wasn't going to get in until like 2:30 in the morning, and it's an hour drive to my house from the airport at least. But they were like, no, we'll come and get you, don't worry. So that was nice to be picked up, but man, was I bone tired when I got home. And then, sorry, I'm trying to post to groups too while I'm talking to you guys. And it was good to see the dogs and the cats. I swear to God, every time I go away, it looks like the cat's like double in size. And Sven went like nuts to see me. I mean, nuts. Like was biting me, like love bites, and like purring up a storm and couldn't get enough of me, like to the point where he was almost kind of annoying me, where I was like, Sven, I need to sleep. He was like a pushy lover. Um, Hold on 1 second, let me just get this right. What am I doing here? Circle of light. I'm so wiped out. I hope this forecast will be okay, guys. I can't guarantee this might be a sort of schmaltzy forecast. But the funny thing is I still have the cards up from when I did the forecast earlier in the week. And the cards from yesterday was the Ace of Swords, right? Which is all about like sort of creative thinking or thinking outside of the box, you know, using your mind to sort of bring about new thought or new ideas, new ways of handling stuff. Hey, don't scratch up the chair, Sven. Sven! Don't do that. Um, and then it was that swan, right? And swan is a symbol of grace. So, you know, did I handle yesterday gracefully? At most of the time. I kind of wanted to get a little bit mad when we were like everything was closed up in the airport, and the only thing I could buy was a $16 bag of almonds. That was kind of a bummer. And then right after I bought this friggin' $16 bag of almonds. It's like robbery in the airports. It's so screwed up. Right after I buy this $16 bag of almond, American Airlines goes and puts out a whole tray and basket of bottled waters and like snack thingies for us because we had been sitting there for like 7 hours. Sven, that is my meditation chair. It may smell like me, but that does not give you the right to tear it up. All right, 1 second. Get out of there. Becoming a bad boy. So give me just one moment, guys. I'm moving slow. It's good to be back. I missed you guys all very, very much. I had a great week in Virginia Beach. If you've never been to Virginia Beach, even though I went in November, it's absolutely beautiful. Very peaceful. Maybe it was because it was November. I know it must get busier there during the summertime, but the beach is really serene. The weather was a little bit cold, but even with the cold weather, it was gorgeous. What else was I going to say? The ARE, the Edgar Cayce Foundation, is amazing. It's it's for research. There's something for research and enlightenment. I can't think of it right now. What the A stands for, but they were wonderful. The staff there was wonderful. There's a little bookstore there. They have a meditation room on the 3rd floor that's absolutely beautiful. The mediumship classes we took were brilliant. I know a lot of you guys know John Holland. So he's an amazing teacher, totally down to earth, totally fun, really great to work with, like just personable, lovely. He makes you feel like secure and safe in what you're doing. He really empowers you to learn. And then Janet, who I had never worked with, who I really don't know a whole lot about or didn't going into this. Janet No Havoc, she's based out of New Jersey. She runs a spiritualist church called The Journey Within. She is amazing. John's amazing too, don't get me wrong. John is definitely amazing. I mean, like, beyond. But Janet was a surprise to me because I wasn't sure what to expect. And she is an ex-Catholic nun, and she's a medium of, I think, 30 years, some odd years. She's been practicing mediumship. Super, super skilled. I mean, beyond skilled, beyond confident in her abilities. She has a reverence and a respect for what she does that's so clean, beautiful, and pure that it's like really nice. I mean, John has that too, but to hear Janet speak of it, she used beautiful phrases this week. She called us the walkers between two worlds, and then she broke it down to this idea of, I'm getting a little emotional, and that's okay. It was a great week. I met lovely people at the week. I mean, lovely, lovely people. It's nice to be around like-minded people. I know I said this from the last time I was away, but it really does make a huge difference when you're around like-minded folks that are trying to practice the same thing that you're trying to learn, or that believe in the same sort of belief systems and stuff as you. But as I was going to say, Janet is sort of unassuming, very to the point, but all of her information, her critique, her ability to keep the class sort of on point and on subject and on topic was impeccable. Her love of mediumship and her devotion to it is really evident, and you can see it. She says things like I said, the walker between two worlds was a beautiful statement. There was a statement that she made about the white crow, which really inspired me. There was a statement about, she kept saying that we are just incarnate beings speaking with discarnate beings, like breaking down mediumship to that level where it's not a big deal, guys. It's just another level. It's another intelligence, she kept telling us. And I love the way that she viewed it. And John breaks it down very simply, too, and very easily. And so it was really nice to sit in a room with two self-insured instructors that knew what they were doing, that really do good work, that believe in the work that they do, that have ethics, that can teach those ethics to you from a place of experience. And so it was really just a bang on week. I had a great time. The exercises were great. The crowd that we were with, like the other students that we were with, we were split into two different groups, but at certain points, but as a whole, the whole group of people, it was just a wonderful, like, friendly group of people. So I had a great time. Sorry, I'm still posting to groups and chatting a little too much. The exercises, we did some exercises blindfolded, which was fun, because it really sort of pushed you. And that was kind of the thing that Janet and John wanted to do, was push us and to learn new ways of doing things. What was the other thing that Janet said? Oh, she kept saying, paint them back to life. Ah! Woo! It was just such a beautiful way of honoring the spirit, the way she put it. I'm tired, so maybe a little weepy, but damn. It was good. I'm so glad I went. If you guys ever get a chance to see either of the two of them live or learn from them, I highly, highly suggest it. I think it's well worth it. If you have any interest in learning mediumship or psychic skills, these people are top notch. Like, top notch, and wonderful people, like very relatable, very easy going, and like I said, Janet is very humble about what she does and honorable about how she does it, and her reverence for it. It's very clear and inspiring. Both of them, really. If you don't follow them, you should. I think that Janet, the Journey Within, I know, has a YouTube channel because I follow that. And I think I follow the Journey Within on Facebook. And John Holland has a page on all social media platforms, so you can follow him there. I think he's John Medium on Instagram. But they were, like, beyond. So I think that it was such a great week that it made it easier for me to sit in that airport yesterday. But as I'm looking at these cards, I see this swan, right, which is all about grace. I'm just reflecting back on my day yesterday. And then I'm looking at the release card that we had. And I'm like, oh yeah, I had to release a whole bunch of shit yesterday because I wanted to, like, choke a bitch at one point. I mean, excuse my language, but it got a little bit ridiculous when by the time it was 12:30 at night and we still weren't in the air. We were waiting for a stewardess from one plane to show up for the other plane. I was like, really? Are you serious? Sorry, still posting to groups. Give me one more moment. I cannot guarantee today's reading, guys. I'm really tired. So we will see what is uninspired or what comes out today. I'm going to just trust that Spirit will carry me through this. I didn't want to make you guys wait. I missed you guys. The dogs got me up 4 hours after I went to bed. My ear is already ringing. So Spirit's here. Let me see here. Did I share to everybody? I think I did. And if I didn't, if I missed ya, well, I missed ya. Please share out to groups if you'd like, if you feel so inclined. It's a great help to me. Alright. Let me put these cards back with their decks. We did a bunch of fun exercises too. It was just cool. It was such a good week. I mean, I was happy to come home, but kind of sad to see it end. Alright, so let's do our 3 breaths, right? So we know the drill around here. Hey, Nate, how are you? Hey, Lisa. Lisa, I know that you're on the books for me for that charming or card reading that you had sent me like 2 weeks ago, and then everything canceled out. But I've still got that in the back of my mind. I haven't forgotten you, Lisa. Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Jamie. I'm sorry if I've missed your comments and haven't said hello. I was just posting to groups and talking a little too much. So let's get centered. Let's put our feet flat on the ground. Let's bring in those deep, deep breaths in through, not breasts, kids, breaths. Oh, this is a funny story. It's a long story, but there was a lady there that loves horses, right? And at one point I was teasing her because her horse came through to a girl that was an animal communicator. I don't know if I'm supposed to share this because it is sort of a private classroom, but I'm not using any names, so. And it's more about me than anything. But like on the second to last day, the ladies were sitting behind me and I was spinning around and I was saying, horse, horse, horse. Because the horse came through on a medium message, even though the horse is not dead. The animal communicator woman said, this horse would not leave me alone. And I didn't understand why. And the horse just kept coming through and was like, no dead people. I want to talk to my owner. I want my owner home. So I was teasing the owner, saying like things like, you're being very, your horse called. He's saying you're being very negligent by being here and stuff like that, right? But I was spinning around in class and I go, horse, horse. Well, some of my classmates thought I was calling these two ladies whores, whores. And what I thought was funny is it's like, wait a second, nobody stopped me to say, excuse me, do you have Tourette's? Why are you calling those ladies whores? They're not whores. I just think it's funny. Okay, somebody wants to come up and say hello. He's pawing at my crotch, so that's generally a sign of, put me on camera, daddy. Oh, and he's starting to purr. All right, let's do the breath work. Svenny's gonna breathe with us. In through our nose, deep into the belly. Holding that breath just for a few seconds to allow that oxygen to sort of permeate our bloodstream. Just imagine it permeating our brain, going to our vital organs and glands and giving it the oxygen that they deserve and need for, health and survival. And as we release that breath, release it all out and let go of anything that no longer serves you, that might feel stale. You don't have to know what it is or how it got there, just you're releasing it, you're letting it go. And as you let it go, be thankful for the body. On the second breath, be thankful for the mind. And on the third breath, be thankful for the spirit. Kind of line those three components up the best way you want, whatever suits you for today, for this beautiful Saturday, the 16th. And line up your chakras. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just intend for your chakras to be, oh, he is purring up a storm. He is so happy I'm home. I didn't know this cat loved me so much. Just intend for your chakras to be just the way they need to be for today, for optimum, look at me, he's biting my hand, for optimum enjoyment of the day today, and the most amount of peace you can have, okay? So inspired this week, man. I don't know if Miss No Havoc and Mr. Holland are going to ever come across this video, but I have to say a deep, deep thank you to them and to every class member that was in that class, because I feel like there was just a camaraderie and a bond and a learning that took place that it was like that kind of perfect storm where everybody came together. We did the damn thing, and it just went really, really well and was really enjoyable. So I'm in a deep gratitude for that. And Spirit was really present through the whole thing. So I have to acknowledge Spirit and say thank you for all the messages that I received for others. Thank you for all the messages that they came through for me through others. It was just beautiful. All right, so let's get to that. Okay, Svenny, I'm gonna set you down. Okay, so let's bring our attention back to our body. Sometimes it helps if I touch my body, like I usually touch my heart center. You can touch wherever you'd like. Svenny, don't stand on the keyboard. Sorry. If you can, bring your attention back to the center of your head if you feel comfortable doing that. Oh, and remember to emanate your light. That's the other thing we've been doing and practicing, is emanating out that light with each out breath, just allowing that light to sort of easily expand out throughout the body, healing the body and raising the vibration in a comfortable and easeful way, okay? So let's take in that first breath, deep into the belly through the nose, releasing out the mouth. And inhale. Expand that light, line up those chakras, and release. Thanking the body for the densest vibration and outward form of ourselves that we have. Remember, we created this body in the design that it's in. We chose this body at some point. Be grateful for it. Give it thanks for everything that it's done for us at a physical level. Let's take in that second breath. Hold and emanate that light. And release. Really just letting go of anything, any worry, any tension, any stress, stuff that doesn't belong to us. And paying gratitude to the mind for the beautiful supercomputer that it is and all the work that it does. Both the things that annoy us about it and the things that we love about it. Like, just remind our mind that we are here to work with it and we appreciate it. And kind of like visualize that body and that mind kind of coming together, sort of sending hearts or love, flowers, roses back and forth between each other, right? Just sort of becoming in balance with each other. Let's take in that third breath, deep into the belly. Hold. Emanate that light. Do any final adjustments to your chakras. Just see them in alignment, straight alignment, vibrating or spinning at the optimum spin that they need for today. In a very graceful and easeful way. And release. Being thankful for the spirit, for the beautiful, subtle, graceful, intelligent being that it is that resides within all of us, for the guidance that it gives us, whether we're aware of it at times or not, but acknowledging that it is always there with us and how grateful we are for that. As you do that and as you think that or say that to yourself in your mind, just sort of line that spirit in with that lineup of the body and the mind. And just allow the three to come into a sort of, I do a triangle where they sort of all balance one another and they're equal distance from each other, giving support and love and appreciation to one another. Now, does that triangle stay in place all day? Not always. But right now, we can allow it to be in place as we begin our day, to set the tone for the day. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and welcome to the 16th. For those of you that want, you can place a grounding cord too and still allow excess energy that maybe doesn't belong to you or that feels stale or that you're ready to release to go down that grounding cord to the center of the earth. Remember, we are supported by Mother Earth. She is our mother. She loves us. No matter what, she will take care of us. Let's get into the cards today. Let's see what Spirit has for us. I'm so happy to be back, guys. I missed you guys. Okay. Spirit. What messages do we need to know as a collective for November 16th, Saturday, 2019? For those that are watching live and those that will tune in later throughout whenever, really. How are we finishing out this week? Thank you for bearing with the pre-tape. Again, I'm going to make an announcement too. The November 25th through the 30th, I'm traveling back to see my brother Paul in Pensacola, Florida. Those dates will probably also be pre-taped, just because it's going to be easier because we're going to be going to have Thanksgiving with Paul and he'll be staying with us in the house during Airbnb. And so I'm excited to see my brother. He's been on my mind a lot and miss him incredibly. But I'm also so grateful that I get to go see him soon. The only thing I don't like is being away from you guys and the dogs, but I'll, and the cats, of course. But I feel like the cats are more self-sufficient, like they're kind of like, oh, you're back. The dogs are like, oh my god, where'd you go? So everybody this trip will be going to a kennel, so they'll be happy when I come and spring them out of jail. And then again, I'll be gone from December 23rd to the 27th to see Paul for Christmas. So those will also probably be pre-taped, unless I find a way to do them live in the morning from the East Coast. Which maybe I'll try and do that because it is Christmas. And it would be nice to at least see you guys live leading into Christmas. Because even even though Christmas has become a sort of material holiday, it is all around the significance of it is about the, you know, the birth, death, and resurrection of Christ, I believe. So it should be a very spiritual day. And it should be about love and joy, right? So let's see what our card is for today. Oh shit, I didn't check my cameras before I did this. I'm so excited to get online. Oh my god! I wish these women were watching. I just told you guys this story. Let me check the camera and make sure that it's right. It is right. Okay, perfect. So, I love that we have a horse, because I just shared that horse story with you. This is the Six of Wands. Okay, so, to me, I love this card because it feels all about, like, the wands sort of feel like they're supporting that horse, right? And I love the stars all around that horse's head. This is just these are the first things that I feel like I'm noticing. There feels like there's a bit of stability here. Now, with the Six of Wands, I just want to double check what Jillian's interpretation is of the Six of Wands. The three words that she uses for this is rising up, praise, and honor, which I love that. But to me, and I'm like, but for me, this horse represents our own personal power. I feel like this horse is very centered. We actually talked a lot this week about horses. They came up with not only this one lady that I was discussing her horse, but there was another lady that I ended up reading with, and we were talking. She had like sort of an equestrian background, and she was talking about the power of horses. And I believe that there's like sort of a Native American myth about horses traveling in between the worlds. That like when I think for some reason, I don't know where I'm pulling this from, but I believe that there's some sort of a story about like maybe Native Americans either being buried with their horses, or I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that, guys, but for some reason I feel like I know that to be a fact. Maybe I'm pulling it from a past life, I'm not sure. But it's about like this animal being able to take us in to the other realm in a place from a place of safety, right? Wands being fire and being the element of spirit. To me, I love that there's 6 wands here, which me, it's an even number, which feels sort of balanced, and it also creates this sort of balanced structure that spreads out. I feel like there's security and support here for us today in our own personal power, in our own centered awareness of who we are, and allowing that to sort of be exactly what it is. These twinkling stars around the horse make me feel like, you know, our thoughts really are, it can be our inspiration and can be our motivation and can be very powerful. And so to be mindful of that and to be centered in that, like this horse is. Horses are very strong animals, right? But to me, they're also extremely peaceful. You know, if you treat them with, I was explaining to this lady actually, just I think it was yesterday during our exercises. No, not yesterday, maybe the day before. But I was explaining to this other lady that had an equestrian background. I was telling her about when I was working, when I first got to Texas, I used to drive by these fields that had horses in it. And I would go and I would get a bag of apples and I would go to the fence. They weren't my horses. I probably shouldn't have done this, but I just felt like doing it. And the horses would come and they would eat the apples from my hands. And how the strange, like, calm that would come over me. Oh, there's Fenny in the background. The strange calm that would come over me when I would feed a horse and look into its eyes. Like, I felt like the horse knew me at some level. I know that maybe sounds a little bit strange. Some of you animal lovers, you might totally get it and understand. But to me, it feels like horse does sort of bridge the gap between the two worlds. There's certain animals that are significant for that, like jaguar. Horse is one to me. Crow is another one, or say raven. You know, they sort of fly between the two worlds. So to me, this feels like you are supported today to be in your inspired thought. You might necessarily not take, horses could represent taking action, but to me, I feel like this horse is almost sort of formulating and sitting in its power, knowing who it is today. So for those of us that might have some ideas, some things that have maybe transpired over the week that we want to sort of bring into next week, this is the preparation of that. This is the solid foundation that we've built over this week. And now we get to sort of sit with that today and really honor that, center ourselves in that, and prepare ourselves to then move forward as this horse would. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And that can be about anything. Like, this is a vague reading, I know, because it is for a collective group of people. But to me, this feels like a very empowered, like, how do I want to say? Like a silently or quietly spiritually empowered card, right? The horse is very a noble energy, always representative of personal power or strength, but not in a way of any need for aggression or proof, right? The horse knows its ability. The horse knows its grace. The horse knows its being in a way, right? And so with this horse here, I feel like today would be a good day to maybe get in touch with that with ourselves, honor that in ourselves, allow that to sparkle a little bit, like the stars sparkle around this beautiful horse's head. Now I'm going to go to Kat Ryle's deck, which is the Roots and Wings deck. You can find her on Instagram and at River and Roots. If you're interested in this deck. And both of these decks have unboxing videos on my YouTube if you want to see a little bit more about the decks or my opinions of them. I think they're both incredible. This other deck with the horse here is the Naked Heart Tarot, and you can find her work at Jillian C. Wilde, JILLIANCWILDE at Instagram. So what is the rest? Spirit, what else do we need clarified for today, Saturday the 16th? I love it. Karen's laughing. Baha. Oh, and Karen, I have to say this. I went to lunch the other day in Virginia Beach with a friend of mine from Puerto Vallarta who happened to fly up for the class. And we went by a cleaners called Albano Cleaners, and I almost took a picture of it, but I didn't have time to. I wanted to take a picture and post it in the group and go, Karen, do you want a cleaners, a dry cleaners in Virginia Beach? But it made me think of you. Hey, Beyonce! Good morning, everybody. The Queen has just come in. Beyonce Knowles is here. Beyonce Riles, what am I talking about? I also have to say, too, I met two in the wait yesterday. You know, I was trying to think, wow, this is a significant wait. What is going on here? What does Spirit want us to do? Like, not that everything is, I mean, I do believe everything is connected to Spirit, but not everything has to have a spiritual meaning, right? But I met this lovely woman yesterday who lives in Dallas, and a guy who is a homicide detective here in Texas. And the three of us chatted for a while. We were all around the same age. And it was very interesting. They were really cool people. It was kind of a bummer because I got off the plane before them. I would have liked to have said goodbye to them because I sort of felt like the three of us had a laugh and we commiserated a little bit about our situation. But she was a software engineer and he was a homicide detective and I was a psychic. And we were all talking about the different ways we work. And it was very cool. So let's see what our other deck has. Okay. So we have the Abundance card. We've had this card before, guys. I love this card. I think it's a beautiful card. To me, not only does this signify abundance with the beauty of the flowers and acknowledging our own beauty, which I do see in this horse card, right? This is about acknowledging not only our beauty, because this horse is beautiful and twinkling with starlight, but this horse is also strong, right? So there's an abundance of strength, beauty, power within this horse, right? Just personal level of spiritual connection. Right, this being the Six of Wands, we're not only stabilized and firmly, but I feel like these wands almost even root us in this power today, right? We can allow that to happen. Let me just pull this camera back just a little bit because we got to fit the grounding stone. But this card here also says that as we are grounded in that, and we are aware of that today, or if we keep our focus on that and stay grounded in that and allow those wands to support us, right? That spiritual strength to support us in our knowing of who we are and our own personal strength, beauty, and power. We can feel that abundance, right? We can understand that abundance not only at a mental level, because this is coming out of her higher mind or her upper regions, let's say, but it sort of flows out, and this makes me think of not only just the conscious mind, but the higher mind, the 6th and 7th chakra, and the beauty, the color, all of that, the abundance of that which we are in spirit, and how that makes manifest on a material level, right? Because we have these flowers here. So, excuse me, I feel like as we settle into our own, the depth and centeredness of this horse energy, right? You're all a bunch of whores. Kidding. Then we get to sort of bloom forward in the knowing of that and really feel that abundance throughout the day today. So allow yourself that joy. If you don't have much planned for this Saturday, allow yourself to connect to yourself at a deeper spiritual level and allow yourself to honor yourself in that way. And this green border, this green background makes me feel like doing this for ourselves creates a sort of healing space. Healing is green is always a color that I associate with like healing, and this sort of bright spring green feels like a light healing to me, or a healing that makes us feel lighter is more what I'm trying to get at. So if we are in this place, or we do use these as our points of contact for the day today, or our focal points today, even as we're going through the day to day or dealing with the people in our lives that we need to deal with, ask ourselves, are we dealing with them from a centered place of empowered knowledge, from peaceful empowered knowledge at that, right? Because this horse is very peaceful and very centered and supported and grounded in who and what it is. And are we allowing ourselves to sort of grow forth our beauty and shine in that and share that with others and the abundance that we have to offer the world? Because there is abundance that we offer. I've certainly learned that this week, just in the work that we've done, listening to Janet and John talk. They're really brilliant. Her church, you guys, if any of you are located near New Jersey, I'm jealous, because if any of you have an interest in learning about mediumship and you're close to where she is in New Jersey, you have the opportunity to go and tap a wealth of information around mediumship if you go and attend her classes and her circles. I would just be, I'm like in awe of what wonderful teachers they are. So let's pull the grounding stone for today. The other thing I should let you guys know, I got 2 new grounding stones. One is handmade by my friends from Puerto Vallarta, so that will go into the bag starting next tomorrow. And one I bought at the ARE, at the Edgar Casey Institute. So I like that I'm bringing back these new grounding stones for us from each place that I go on each little spiritual trek. So, and the one that I got at the ARE was the last palm stone with words on it they had in the entire building. Because I was like, oh, do you have other palm stones? She's like, no, I think that's the very last one. And so I was like, can I purchase it? And she said, of course. So we'll add that. I gotta do a little ritual for it to add it to the bag, and we'll be seeing those guys in our future forecast. But the stone for today is carnelian, which I love this. And it is miracle. And to me, the carnelian makes me think of the first chakra, right? Which is all about grounding. And miracles to me are all about the work of spirit. And so when I think about this horse card and I talk about these spiritual wands sort of not only offering support, but they sort of grow down into the ground and they ground this horse in who it is and in the knowledge and the awareness of its sparkling beauty and innate power, innate grace, innate just nature, right, of who it is and the appreciation of that. It allows for this abundance to grow forth from both not only the conscious mind and awareness, but the higher mind and awareness. And we get to shine forth and have that healing that makes us lighter. And in and of that just whole practice right there, that is a miracle, right? That in and of itself can be a small or a large miracle for some of us, depending on how we see ourselves or how we hold ourselves. If we're able to shift that energy, we create that miracle in our life, in our day today, for ourselves, and we ground in that through like this carnelian sort of red chakra energy, first chakra energy. If we really ground in that, or ground in the miracles that are around us, because there are small miracles happening all of the time, right? I mean, yesterday, I'm just using myself as an example, I was in an airport for 9 hours, but I met 2 lovely people that we had like the sort of strangest, neatest sort of connection, I felt like, where I was just able to talk to them, laugh with them, and they were complete and absolute strangers. And it's funny, I kind of wish I got a chance to almost exchange information with them. Like, I felt like they would have been great friends. But sometimes that's maybe all people are supposed to be to us in this life, and in and of itself, that's a miracle. This entire week that I've spent in Virginia Beach was filled with all sorts of different miracles, not only for myself that I noticed, but for those around me, right? I know that my other fellow students had experiences that they were blown away by or inspired by. And you guys too can have those same experiences if you sort of focus on them, ground in them, and know that they exist and allow them to just be. Allow them to come forth. Allow them to come forth abundantly. And we can do that through honoring who we are from a place of deep, sort of grounded spirit, and allowing that spiritual knowledge to sort of manifest at a physical level in the beauty of this horse. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys today. I hope that is a sufficient forecast. It is so good to be back, you guys. I missed you all incredibly. Let me switch cameras really quick. I missed you all incredibly. It's good to be back. I'm super tired. I am going to be so brain dead all day today, but it's a miracle. My miracle is that I got this video out. My miracle is that I made it home yesterday. My miracle is that I have a stepdad that was willing to come and pick me up. He was a miracle last night. I felt so bad as they kept delaying, and I was like, oh my God. But the crazy thing is things work out, because I would have landed at the airport at 2:30 in the morning, bone tired, and would have probably attempted to drive if my mom hadn't offered on the way back from Florida a week ago or whenever, 10 days ago when we were coming back from Florida. She said, do you want me to drive you to the airport? And I said, yeah, but I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to put you out. And she's like, of course I'll drive you. The reason why and this is the other thing, the reason why my mom didn't come and pick me up is because she slipped and fell in my house while watching the dogs, and she hurt her shoulder pretty bad. I've got to go over and see her. I'm kind of worried about her. But, this is going to sound like I don't want my mom hurt by any means, but the miracle in that is that, it requires my stepdad to then come out and get me. And it requires me to understand how, special and precious that is, that he would be willing to do that for me. So I feel like, that deepens my appreciation and relationship to him. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much on a little bit of a spiritual trip. And I'm not trying to say that everything happens for a reason, but maybe sometimes things do. And I'm glad to be home. I missed you all. Please like, share, comment, subscribe wherever you can. Help me get the word out. I will be back on for tomorrow's Sunday forecast, which will be the underpinning for next week. And I will see you guys then. I'm also available for private readings. If you guys want private readings, you can message me at the business page. That's always available to you. Or tell your friends about me if you know anybody that can use my services. Beyond that, I've got a couple of things up my sleeve. Keep a lookout for that. There's going to be some things that I'm going to be doing that might excite you guys. I'm going to let Ducky know and talk to her about it first. And then once we figure out a plan, I will let you guys know. Alright, so I'm going to go be in spirit today. I slept in this shirt all week while at the conference, just to remind myself of why I was there, what the focus was. So grateful for what happened this week. Even the delay, I have to say, it wasn't the most fun, and yeah, I'm tired, but I met those two lovely people. It was worth it. Alright. I will talk to you guys. Hey, Jen Nichols. Love to you too, my dear. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow in the morning. And I believe the Charmings will be on this week. If anybody wants Charmings, message me or let me know. You can always pre-reserve. You can just put in the reservation via YouTube. Wednesday night or Friday night. Let me know about that. And that's about it. Alright, so I'm so tired. I'm gonna go gather up all of these little fur babies and climb back up under the covers. Not from a place of hiding out, but just from a place of comfort and connection. And watch the miracles happen. The miracles of purring kittens and snoring bulldogs. Alright, I love you all. Have a good day. And thank you for being patient for me to get back and allowing me to go and educate myself just a little bit more. Alright, take care. Have a happy Saturday. Thank you, Ramona. You're beautiful too, my dear. Thank you, Rose. Oh my god, what if you just farted again at the end? When somebody farted at the beginning of this video and at the end? What is going on? Did you all hear that? It was like a big psh. That wasn't me. I swear it was the dogs. Alright. Love you guys. Bye.